welcome back to CHS Field here for Game 2 of this doubleheader. The Augsburg Auggies taking on the Pipers of Hamline. Game 1 going to Hamline in 11 innings by the final score of 9-8. And so the teams will do it again. Augsburg now coming into this game with a record of 11-14. And for Hamline, 12-17. And we don't have a lot of time before this game will start, so let's jump into the starting lineups here. First for Augsburg, leading off playing center field will be Jordan DeCrook. Shortstop Clayton Bodine moves up to bat second in this game. And second baseman Mike Brookshaw still in that number 3 hole. Keen Turner in right field, batting cleanup. Zach Bacco in left drops down to the 5th spot in the order. Cam Erickson, who DH'd in Game 1, will play first base here in Game 2 and bat 6th. Walker Rogers at third base, bat 7th. Joe Rydell DHing in Game 2 after a big Game 1, and he'll bat 8th. Dylan Foote steps in behind the plate, and he will bat 9th, and they will go against the right-hander Jake Domovic for Hamline. Domovic playing shortstop in that first game. He steps in on the mound here in Game 2, 0-3 with an ERA of 5.28. And he is starting his 4th game of the year, making his 6th appearance on the mound overall. 15 1/3 innings pitched. He has walked 8, struck out 7. Opponents hitting .348 against the right-hander. And a right-hander and Jordan DeCrook steps in for Game 2. Charlie Beatty, Tom Witchen with you here for Game 2 as we were for Game 1. And it's strike 1 on a breaking ball to DeCrook. Tom Ritchie and Ethan Allen on cameras at windy CHS Field. Another breaking ball from Domovic is down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The wind is shifted back a little bit again. In that first game, it was blowing dead out to left field. Then it started going in from right center. And now it is back blowing out to left again, pretty stiffly. So if you can get one in the air, you might get some help out there as DeCrook fouls one away. And it's still 1-2. And a reminder, this game, Game 2 of this doubleheader, is a 7-inning game. Of course, made up for it with the 2 extra innings in the first game. So it's still an 18-inning day, even if this one goes regulation, as that one's fouled away by DeCrook. Augsburg in that first one fell behind early 5-0. Then it was 8-2. Then it was 8-8, and it stayed that way from the 6th inning until the 11th, when it was 1 on a walk-off single by a backup catcher in Kyle Hartwig, who is not in the lineup here for Game 2 for the Pipers. Good battle by DeCrook here, who's fouled off a couple at 1-2. And the pitch on the way from Domovic, another slow breaking ball, and it's down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still a bright, sunny day, not a cloud in the sky. The only issue is the breeze. There's a fastball in the inside corner, and DeCrook takes a called 3rd strike. Didn't have a lot of strikeouts in Game 1. That's the first called 3rd strike of the day by either team. And now Clayton Bodine steps in for the Auggies. Bodine started the day hitting .325, chops the first one into the outstretched glove of Domovic, who of course is a shortstop by trade, so he's a good fielder and makes the play. And he gets Bodine on 1 pitch, and that will bring up Brookshaw. He started the day hitting .500, did Brookshaw, but a very tough first game. He had just 1 hit, dropped the average some. And the left-hander into the box, takes ball 1. In the field, Nick Kakuro DH'd in the first games at 3rd for Hamline here. Get the rest of the lineup after the 1-0, 1 ball and 1 strike. And it is Messerschmidt moving over from 3rd to short. Cullen Buck still at 2nd. Nolan Schoenveld at 1st. Foul back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Elliot Engen, who started behind the plate in Game 1, also starts there in Game 2. The outfield left to right. Zura, Benson, and Zach Langton is now in right field. Devin Rogers giving way to the left-handed hitter in Game number 2. Outside, and it is 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Brookshaw. Pardon me, 1-2. And the pitch on the way from Dumovic, breaking ball, and he just got a piece of it to stay alive. The Auggies will send another left-handed pitcher in Jake Kraft to the mound in the bottom half of the first inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch, up and away, and now it's 2-2 to Brookshaw. Dumovic working quickly. Two balls, two strikes, two outs, top half of the first here at CHS Field. Charlie Beatty, Tom Witchin with you. And a chopper foul. Brookshaw liked to crook before him, putting up a good fight at the plate. At least making Dumovic throw a number of pitches here in this first inning. Let the rest of the lineup get a decent look at him. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and a breaking ball's outside, runs the count full. Keen Turner would be next if Brookshaw can extend the inning. Auggies held scoreless in the final 5 innings of game 1 as Brookshaw hits one hard down the left field line. That one's carrying well into the corner, and it's gone. An opposite field home run by Mike Brookshaw. And I said it just a moment ago, if you can get one up into that wind, you might get some help. That didn't look like a ton off the bat. And it's certainly carried out in a hurry down that left field line. And Brookshaw has the Auggies' second home run of the day, which matches their season output up until this point.
So Brookshaw his 12th RBI of the season as the Auggies take our first lead of this doubleheader.
And again, that really just looked like a lazy fly ball. And the way Zura was playing it out there, he thought he probably would at least catch up to it if it landed in the corner, and it just carried inside the foul pole. And here's a hard shot up the middle, and Messerschmidt, the new shortstop, throws across to first to retire Turner 6-3. But a loud first run off the bat of Mike Brookshaw, his first home run of the season, and the Auggies, after one run, one hit, no errors, nobody left, lead it 1-0. And we move to the bottom half of the first inning.
Thank you, Charlie. I'm Tom Witchin, Tom Rich, Ethan Allen, our camera people here tonight. This broadcast is a presentation of Augsburg University and produced with the help of TJ Broadcast Services, the Ritchie Media Group, and our broadcast courtesy of Minnesota Coaches Incorporated, Memory Lane Splashback Cafe, the Courtyard Minneapolis Hotel, the Corner Bar, Thrivent Financial for Lutherans, Twin City Orthopedics, Wells Fargo, Devani's Pizza, 360 Wow Incorporated, and Jimmy John's. Got a tough 9-8 loss in the first game, but a 1-0 lead here as the Pipers come to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. Batting order for the Hamline Pipers, leading off and playing first base is Nolan Schoenfeld. Batting second, DHing and doing the pitching is Jake Dumovic. Batting third, the center fielder Mitch Benson. Batting cleanup will be the third baseman Nick Kukurich. Batting fifth is second baseman Cullen Buck. Batting sixth, the left fielder Jeremy Zura. Batting seventh, Zach Langton, playing right field. Batting eighth, now at shortstop, Hunter Messerschmidt. Batting ninth, Elliot Engren, catching both ends of the doubleheader. He is batting ninth and doing the catching. Again, on the mound for the Auggies is Jake Kraft. And what do you have for numbers on Jake?
Well, Jake's got the best ERA on the staff for the Auggies this year. He's only pitched 12 innings, but he's 1-0. 2.25 ERA, just making his second start, fifth appearance overall, the left-hander. 16 hits allowed, 6 walks, 7 strikeouts. Of the hits, he's allowed 7 doubles. Opponents hitting .320 against him. Kraft, a 6'1" lefty out of Hutchinson. And he will face, as you mentioned, Schoenfeld, Dumovic, and Benson here in this first inning. Staked to a 1-0 lead thanks to his second baseman, who poked one over the left field fence just inside the foul pole, and a breaking ball up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Schoenfeld, the 6'3" first baseman, batting leadoff for the Pipers of Middleton, Wisconsin. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Umpires have swapped spots for this game, and that's good news for us. If only this umpire a little bit more
Animated?
Animated, yeah. At the plate, 2 balls and a strike. We do know when the strikes come over the plate right away now. 2-1 pitch fouled back to the screen. Don't need any help on that one. It's 2-2 on Schoenveld with Jake Domovic, the pitcher, hitting for himself on deck. 2-2 pitch. Bouncer to third. Just inside the bag. Tough play, and Rogers had it bounce up. Not sure if that hit the corner of the bag or not, but it was close. Probably an error on that one. And it would be the first Augie error of the day, if that's how it's charged. Nothing on the board yet, but a runner on the base paths and a speedy one. And they're going to give him a hit on that one. In fact, they gave him 2 hits.
I was going to say.
No runs, 2 hits on the board right now for Hamline. Questionably 1 hit,
yeah.
So we'll see if it even counts as 2. Runner on, and he's going right away. First pitch, throw down to second, throws off line from Dylan Foote, and it's an easy stolen base for Schoenveld, who, as we mentioned, has not been caught this year and now has 2 today. 1 ball and no strikes to Domovic. Mitch Benson, who had a nice first game at the plate, is on deck. And the 1-0 pitch. Grounder back up the middle. Nearly hit the pitcher out of the reach of Brookshaw. And that's going to tie the game right off the bat. An RBI single. So 2 singles or 3, depending on who's scoring the game. And an RBI single from Domovic. And just like that, it's 1-1 with nobody out and Mitch Benson stepping in. Kraft with the good ERA coming in, limited innings. But he is giving up hits at a 320 clip, and he's already given up 2 singles here in this one. And Domovic bluffing like he was going. And the delivery home to Benson is wide. 1 ball and no strikes. On deck, Nick Kukurich playing the field in this second game, unlike the first when he just did the DH duties. And that's outside. 2 balls and no strikes. So a rough start here for Kraft. Augsburg got only 2 innings out of its starter, Jacob Carey, in the first game. Great effort out of the bullpen from Charlie Linder. Hold things down. Cody Perkle got the loss. Two 2-0 the count to Benson. Kraft quickly home. This one's hit hard to left field. Will drop in front of Bacco, and he will keep Domovic at second base. But 3 singles, each hit harder than the last to start the game. And now a good chance for Kukurich.
Well, some good news from the Red River Valley. No, it's not flooding up there. It was Augsburg defeating Concordia 15-1 in 5 innings in Game 2 and clinching a playoff spot. At 13-9, they finished the conference 4 games above 500, 21st win of the year. They'll play in the playoffs on Thursday, probably against Carleton. So congratulations to Coach Melissa Lee and the Auggies. They're playoff bound next week.
Kukurich stepping out. Yeah, had a chance to talk to her before the season started. Interviewed her during a basketball game. She was really excited about this season. It's good to see that it turned out so well for her and the group.
Especially so young. They just have the 2 seniors, Katie Parker and Taylor Mattice.
Up and away. 1 ball, no strikes to Kukurich. What is it about the women's teams at Augsburg not having any seniors this year? The basketball team had 1. They only had 1 junior.
Yeah.
The volleyball team not all that old as well.
Oh, let's see. I think we had 5 seniors on the volleyball team, but
still, that's not that many.
Just a few on the hockey team.
Up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Kraft still struggling here through the bottom half of the first. Yet to retire a batter. The left-hander Cullen Buck on deck. Dumovic is at second. Benson is at first. They both singled. And a swing and a miss on a high fastball there. Kukurich trying to put one over the bullpens in left field on that swing. Aiming for 52 south. Runs just behind the left field fence here. I won't say just behind. It's a good reach to get it to 52.
Yeah, if somebody got it to Lafayette Bridge, that would sign him up for the big leagues.
Well, you compared Kukurich as he swings and misses through a breaking ball in batting stance to Dave Kingman.
Yeah.
He could probably hit it that far if he really got into one. That was the trick with Dave Kingman. He could hit it far. It was just a question of whether he would hit it at all. 2-2 the count. Outside, runs the count full. The way this has gone for Kraft in this first inning, I wouldn't imagine the runners would be in motion 3-2. But Hamline has been aggressive on the base paths today. Trying to hold Dumovic at second base. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Maybe a foul tip for Kukurich. That's a huge first out for Kraft. That brings up the left-hander Buck. Did some damage in that first game. Cullen Buck, freshman out of Eastview. First pitch left-hander to left-hander is down and away. 1-0.
Other winners today in the MIAC in games 1, St. John's, St. Thomas. St. Thomas was a non-conference win. McAllister won, Concordia won, and of course the Hamline win. Log jam at the top of the baseball standings right now with 3 teams, 3 losses apiece.
Fastball up and away, 2-0 now to Buck as Kraft falling behind again. Third straight hitter to which he's gone 2-0. And the pitch fouled away. Challenging him with the fastball there, 2-0, and Buck very late on it.
In the next 15-20 minutes, the Shadows are going to play a part in this game as the Shadows are just about out to home plate right now.
And that's when you want to grab that lead. It starts to get real tough to hit that time of day. Don't play a lot of games this time of day here. Fouled away by Buck. It's 2-2.
For Hamline, the Pipers, this is their home opener here in the late part of April.
And home closer.
And home closer, yeah. They're on the road at Gustavus and at St. Mary's to close out the season next week.
2-2 to Buck. Second straight hitter. Kraft trying to battle back and get the out. Breaking ball got him. Looking back-to-back strikeouts. Boy, what a performance here the last couple hitters after it looked really rough to start the game.
I like the break in that. I like the break in that pitch. It was going to be a ball, and it broke back in, caught the inside part of the plate.
That's one of those pitches for a left-handed hitter that's just impossible to deal with. You have to back up to swing at it, and it breaks in at your knees. Just not much you can do about it. So 2 gone now and 2 on. Kraft trying to keep the damage to a minimum, but once again falling behind Zura. Zura scored the winning run in the first game today. Breaking ball, that's down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Fourth straight, 2-0 count for Kraft. Another left-handed hitter on deck, Zach Langton, who did not start the first game and hit only once. And the pitch up and away. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, Jake just missing his release point a little bit.
Been able to come back on the last 2 hitters. Now behind 3-0. Will have to be precise against a good right-handed hitter with the lefty on deck. A pitch, and Zura does him a favor, swinging 3-0 and pops it sky high on the infield. Brookshaw's got to wait for this to come down and stay with it. It's an adventure on those pop-ups, but Brookshaw makes the catch and ends the inning. So 3 hits to start it off, and then 3 retired after that. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. They leave 2. We head to the second. Augsburg 1, Hamline 1 here on Augie Game Central.
Do you have a group that requires transportation? Minnesota Coasters can provide you with safe, clean, friendly, and timely charter transportation service, no matter what size your group, no matter what your pickup or destination. Visit www.minnesotacoaster.com today to request a quote. Minnesota Coaster, the official bus provider for Augsburg Athletics. And for updates and info on all of our Auggie varsity sports, check out our athletic website at athletics.augsburg.edu. Updated constantly with all the information on 21 of our Auggie varsity sports. It's your online home for Auggie Athletics. If it's happening in Auggie sports, it's online at athletics.augsburg.edu. So the spring sports season, we got 2 playoff teams. The lacrosse team, they'll play next week in the opening round of the MWLC playoffs. 4 teams qualify. And the Auggie softball team will be hosting Thursday at the number 4 seed in the 6-team MIAC softball finals. St. Thomas will be hosting the semis and finals.
We head to the top half of the second inning then. And Jake Dumovic gave one up in the top half of the first, got it right back. So we're all square at 1 with Zach Bacco, Cam Erickson, Walker Rogers set to hit against him here in the top half of the second for the Auggies. It's a beautiful place to catch a ball game, and you sit up here and you can see just about everything. Metro State up the hill down the left field line. Look at straight center. You can see the bluffs on the opposite side of the river down towards South St. Paul and Newport. There's the warehouse converted to an apartment building down the right field line. It's just got a little bit of every kind of flavor a ballpark could have.
Coming to the ballpark, and
there's an airplane landing at Holman Field here soon.
And, of course, Lower Town, home of some lot of great restaurants. You can take it in and then take in a Saints game. No wonder they draw 7,000 people a game.
First pitch to Bacco. Slow breaking ball for a strike. Dumovic has thrown a lot of curveballs early in the count here to start the game. The old pitching backwards term. Now comes back with a fastball. Just fouls. It's flashed wide of the bag at first. 0-2. Big gap in right center field before that pitch for Bacco as Mitch Benson is shading him kind of behind the shortstop, Hunter Messerschmidt. Langton has to go retrieve that ball down the right field line. Zach in the hole, 0-2. Came into the day hitting .279. Here's a bouncer to the right side. Buck ranging over to his knees, makes the play, but not in time at first. An infield single for Bacco. Nice play by Buck, but that last little bounce when he tried to make the play, never really got a chance to get to his feet, get set and throw, and get the speedy runner at first. So Bacco is aboard with a leadoff single, and that'll bring up Cam Erickson. Erickson entering the day hitting .294. Base stealing threat at first. Bacco yet to be caught this year as Erickson takes a slider down and away. 1 ball, no strikes on the Augie first baseman, DHing in the first game, out in the field here in game 2. And Bacco was going, and he just barely gets back to the bag because they nearly caught him leaning. We did see a runner picked off, a Hamline runner in that first game. Quick move by the right-hander Dumovic. And he's throwing over again, this time Bacco in standing up.
Auggies 38-50 in the stolen base department coming into the doubleheader.
Fastball outside. He's 2-0 now on Erickson. And another check on the runner Bacco over at first.
Evidently, 11 innings was pretty much the fill for the fans today. We lost a lot of attendance here in Game 2.
This one popped up foul wide of third, and that will reach the seats by quite a bit. Some of them just keep moving further and further down the left field line, chasing the sun. So 2 balls and a strike to Cam Erickson.
I'm sure that first game crowd, probably the largest crowd of the season that either of the teams had played in front of them. Just, as you said, a beautiful venue, an exciting ball game.
That's an opportunity you just have to take advantage of if you're a fan of either of these two teams. I can't think of many minor league ballparks in general that are this nice, let alone independent minor league ballparks around the country. There's a strike on an off-speed pitch, 2-2. And anybody who's ever done minor league baseball anywhere knows that sometimes you run into some really odd ballparks. This is one of the best. And Midway, it's such a step up for Midway Stadium. Midway Stadium, I mean, obviously it had some great charm because of what the Saints made it, but it was a functional ballpark only. This is a showpiece. 2-2. Another breaking ball. That was whacked to center field, but right at the center fielder, Benson, who backs up and makes the play. 1 gone, and that'll bring up Walker Rogers.
You talked about ballparks and the team or the city that's going to host the NCAA Division III World Series. The home of the Colonels down in Cedar Rapids. I understand that is a beautiful ballpark from what people have told me. St. Scholastic and Wade Stadium, and I wouldn't put Wade Stadium in the context of CHS, but St. Scholastic hosting the regionals this year.
Another breaking ball to start the at-bat. This one's low. 1 ball, no strikes to Rogers. Walker not charged an error in the top half of the first inning, but a play that did bounce off him. Not sure he would have gotten Schoenfeld at first base anyway, so maybe that's why the base hit was given, but probably a play he'd like to atone for either way, as that is the only Hamline run so far. 1-0 pitch. Here's a chopper to third. Picked up there by Kukurich, trying to start a 5-4-3 double play, and they didn't get the second one, but they do get the first.
Yeah, the Pipers turned 3 double plays in the first game. Came close there. But a good stretch there by Walker Rogers. He beat it down.
That'll bring up Joe Rydell, who got the Auggies started in that first game with a home run. And generally just had his best offensive day of the year. A couple of RBIs, had 3 hits. Also walked, scored a couple of runs. Scored 3 runs, I should say. And he takes the ball down low. Another breaking ball to start the at-bat. So now the runner at first is Rogers. Walker 3 for 3 stolen bases this year. This might be an opportunity to send him. Rydell trying to hit one over the fence again. Bounces it foul toward the Augie dugout. He's taken some big cuts today. 1-1 the count to the Augie DH. Up the middle, and that's where the rest of his hits went in the first game. He serves one into center field again. What a day for Joe Rydell, and that'll bring up Dylan Foote for his first at bat. Dylan appearing in his 13th game, his 10th start, hitting .290, and he has 4 runs batted in.
4 hits on the day for Joey. Home run and 3 singles. Double of RBIs, 2 runs scored. Here's his partner behind the dish. Dylan Foote out of North St. Paul.
RBI spot here with 2 outs in the top half of the second, trying to put the Augies back on top. A hard slider there, but that one does catch the inside corner. It's 0-1. Augsburg with a run on 2 hits. Hamline with a run on 3 hits, as we are in the top half of the second inning of a 7-inning second game of the doubleheader. Slow breaking ball that time. Maybe a straight change. And it is a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-2. So Foot in the hole here against Dumovic. They'll check on Rogers over at second base. Augsburg in their same road uniforms, maroon with the gray stripes on the sleeves, gray numbers. Some white outline on the back. Chopper foul by Foot. Stays alive at 0-2. Trying to win their 12th game of the year. Came into the day at 11-13, 11-14 now after the loss in the opener. The tough 9-8, 11-inning affair. 1 ball and 2 strikes as that curveball didn't break.
And the Auggies trying to turn their fortunes around here these last couple of weeks as they've lost 6 of their last 7. And they doubleheader loss to St. John's here a couple of days ago.
Here's a chopper up the middle, and again, Dumovic, those shortstop skills, flags it out of the air and throws on to first for the out. So the Auggies threaten, but they do not score. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2 through an inning and a half. We're all tied at 1. Augsburg and Hamline on Augsburg Game Central.
Take a trip down memory lane at Memory Lanes and Flashback Cafe on 26th Avenue in South Minneapolis. 30 bowling lanes, live entertainment, great food, and 2 game rooms make for a great time. Visit www.memorylanesmpls.com for more information. At the Courtyard Minneapolis Hotel, impressive with state-of-the-art guest rooms, private meeting spaces, and mouth-watering fare at the bistro. Conveniently located, featuring a complimentary shuttle to bring you right to all the Auggie sports action. Visit them at courtyard.com/MSPDC. At the Courtyard Minneapolis Hotel, it's a new stay. Winners today in a softball. St. Kate's with a win. St. Thomas with a non-conference win. Augsburg with 2 wins, now 13 in the season. St. Mary's also won. Gustavus won. So right now the playoffs would look like this. Augsburg would face either Carleton or St. Olaf, depending on what happens later today. St. Thomas, St. Ben's, not sure who will get the bye in that first round. St. Ben's at 15-3, and St. Kate's now at 16-3. But St. Thomas will host next week.
Bottom half of the second inning coming up. Zach Langton, the left-handed hitting right fielder, getting the start in game 2 over Devin Rogers, who started in game 1 in right field. Langton did have 1 at bat. He pinch hit for the man who's on deck, Hunter Messerschmidt, in the 7th inning, and he lined out to first base. Inver Grove Heights native, Zach Langton, another freshman on this Hamline team. First pitch, breaking ball, takes it down low, 1 ball, no strikes. He'll be followed by Hunter Messerschmidt and Elliot Engen, the catcher, who started the first game but also did not finish it. In fact, his backup, Kyle Hartwig, knocked in the game-winning run in the 11th. In the dirt, bounces away from Foot, 2 balls and no strikes, and once again, that's 5 straight hitters now. 2-0 counts for Kraft. Now, 3 of them he's been able to retire, but that's not a good way to live for a pitcher. 2-0 pitch. Outside again, 3-0, and you mentioned it in the bottom half of the first inning, Tom. He's a little all over the place on the mound.
Yeah, the Auggies had control problems with the first game, issuing 8 walks. And there's a hit batter.
Well, it's ball 4 also, but it does go down as a hit by pitch. It would have been ball 4. And Langton nearly earned his way on the easy way by taking 4 straight balls, and then the 4th one hit him. Messerschmidt was hit by a pitch in the first game. He also walked and scored a run and fouled out before being removed from the game. Starts the second game at short. Started at third in the opener. Up there with nobody out and a man at first in Zach Langton. And wants to bunt, bunts it foul. No balls and 1 strike. Langton on the year, 2 for 2 in the stolen base category. So another Piper that can move if called upon. Erickson holding him on at first base. Kraft ahead of a hitter for the first time in quite some time. Schoenveld was really the only hitter in this game that he threw strike one to. Check of the runner. Now the 0-1 pitch on the way home. Now time called, this time by Messerschmidt. In at third is Rogers, expecting the bunt again.
CHS field, very spacious, a little bit bigger than your normal college baseball park. 330 to left, 320 to right.
Throw behind the runner at first, not a bad throw, but not quite enough on it from Foot to catch the runner diving back. Ball one on the pitch, so 1-1. They nearly got Langton straying a little too far off first base.
The right field wall out there at 320, but it's about 20 feet high all the way out to the 400 mark in right center field.
And they're going to try it again. They throw behind him, and once again a close play. 2-1 on the count now to Messerschmidt. Langton might want to take a smaller secondary lead. Again, the bunt shown, and the pitch is high, so 3 balls and 1 strike to Messerschmidt.
Auggies used 3 pitchers in the first game. Danielson and Carey pitched against St. John, so they're not available.
And the pitch catches the outside corner. Messerschmidt didn't think so as he took the bunt away. So now the count is full. And the bunt may be off.
And the Auggies have 13 pitchers on the roster. They've used 12 so far this season. Coach Bateman used quite a few down in the Arizona trip.
3-2 pitch on the way to Hunter Messerschmidt. Line to center, playable. And DeCrook ranging over makes the catch. And the runner holds at first base, and up comes Elliot Engen. In his 3 plate appearances in the first game, he had a sacrifice, a walk, and a single. He was actually caught stealing, picked off first base by Charlie Linder. That was in the 5th inning, and then he did not continue into the 7th. He was pinch hit for. Check of the runner over at first. Would be a good time to steal for Hamline with the number 9 hitter up there. Try to put a runner in scoring position. Fastball outside, and once again Kraft is behind a hitter. And on deck, of course, you've got Schoenveld, you got Dumovic, and you got Benson. RBI guys behind this. There goes the runner. Chopper down to third. Rogers able to play it on the big hop. He'll throw across the diamond for the out. So no stolen base for Langton, but he does move to second. And now Schoenveld, who singled, stole a base, and scored last inning, bats once again.
Mentioned this is the first and the last appearance Hamline at their home turf. Well, the Auggies will get their first appearance at our home stadium, Parade Stadium, on Friday afternoon, taking on the University of Minnesota Morris out of the UMAC Conference. That is a 5 o'clock start, and home on Sunday for Senior Day against Gustavus.
2 gone now. Schoenveld wearing number 22 in an RBI spot for the Pipers. Big lead off second base for Langton. Kraft steps off. Brookshaw trying to keep the runner close out there. Game right now is at the plate as Schoenveld, another slow roller to first. This one's booted by Rogers. Well, the first one, Schoenveld got credit for a base hit. This one is certainly an error. Then it brings up Dumovic.
Again, he tried to short hop it as he did the earlier ground ball. Could not come up with it. And an air charge to the Auggies, and that is our first of the day. Mod of this broadcast is also made possible our partners at Town Square Media in Northern Dakota County. As this game can be seen in Northern Dakota County, in Mendota, Mendota Heights, Lilydale, Sunfish Lake, Inver Grove Heights, South St. Paul, West St. Paul. So we welcome all those of you that are watching on cable here this afternoon to our doubleheader. Nice to have you aboard.
Another spot for Kraft here, and he delivers a strike on the outside corner to his opposite number today on the mound, Jake Dumovic. He drove in a run with a single in the first inning to tie the game up after he gave up the home run to Brookshaw in the top half of the first. That's where we stand, 1-1. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second inning. 2 runners on for Hamline. And a check on Schoenfeld over at first base. He dives back easily. The runner at third right now. Zach Langton was hit by a pitch on what was ball 4 to start the inning. Schoenfeld already with a stolen base today. Hamlin's already tried a double steal in this game. Now 0-2 on Dumovic. Pitcher against pitcher here in the bottom half of the second. Breaking ball on the way. Here's the throw down to second base. Cut off. They would have maybe had him at second base. The Schoenfeld didn't get a great break, but the play was to cut it off. And it's a stolen base. Obviously, that looks bad in retrospect, but that's the design, and you set it up before the play even happens. You're not thinking you'll get the man at second.
3 stolen bases today, 16 for 16. Who are the first baseman?
1-2 on Dumovic. Kraft can get him here. The stolen bases are all a moot point, but the breaking ball's down and away, and it's 2-2. Outfield playing Jake essentially straight away. Just a hair shaded towards left center. In center field is DeCrook, mainly just so he can see the bat hit the ball. 2-2 pitch. Hard liner past the third baseman Rogers. And 2 runs are going to score, and a couple of unearned runs for the Pipers here. And they lead at 3-1. 3 RBIs in this second game for Dumovic on the 2-run single. And Hamline jumped out to their first lead in this second game. Again, both of those runs will be unearned due to the error by Rogers with 2 outs. And it brings up Mitch Benson, who has singled. Did not get off first base in the first inning. First pitch, Benson serving this one into center field, but not very deep. Coming on is DeCrook, and he makes a sliding catch and holds on to the ball as it nearly bobbled out of the glove. But DeCrook, on a ball that was off the end of the bat and probably pretty tough to read, comes in and makes an excellent defensive play to end the second inning. But the damage done for Hamline as they get 2 runs on just 1 hit. 1 error, they leave 1. After 2, it is Hamline 3, Augsburg 1 here on Auggie Game Central. And a reminder, the Corner Bar is a proud sponsor of Augsburg Athletics. Located in Minneapolis' historic 7 Corners district, the Corner Bar is the perfect place for great food, outstanding pizza, and the almost world-famous Joey Wings. And there's tons of screens, so you won't miss a second of the action. Visit thecorner.bar for more information on the Corner Bar. So we'll move into the top half of the third here, and we'll turn things back over to Tom Witchin for play-by-play. Tom?
All right, thank you, Charlie. Charlie Betty, now our voice of Augie football and basketball. He and Eric Bramer did such a fantastic job last year. And of course, Josh Powers on the football broadcast as well, and also did the hockey. And we really welcome him aboard to our Augie family. Augsburg coming to bat here in the top of the third inning, top of the order against Jake Dumovic, Jordan DeCrook, Clayton Bodine, and Mike Brookshaw are the scheduled batters. JD, as he comes to bat, of course, had the outstanding catch to end the inning. DeCrook with a couple of base hits in the first game and scored a run. A home run by Mike Brookshaw gave us a temporary lead. And then Hamline tied up at the bottom of the first and 2 runs here in the second inning. Nick Crook struck out swinging back in the first inning. Auggies came in the day batting .293 against the team. That opponent's hitting about .319. Here's a line drive, left field, going to get down, base hit. And JD has his 3rd hit of the doubleheader. Leadoff batter aboard for the Auggies here at the top of the first inning. And here's Clayton Bodine. CHS Field, home of the St. Paul Saints. They will open up their exhibition season at Jack Word Field in Maysville, home of the defending Class B state champions, the Maysville Mudhens. That's next Saturday. A lot of events revolving around that game. Chris O'Lane, the head baseball coach at St. Thomas, he and his compadres there in Maysville putting that all together with the help of the St. Paul Saints. Should be a fun time. Bodine grounded back to the pitcher, his first plate appearance. And pitch in the dirt, stopped there by Inken. And the count on Bodine is 1 ball and no strikes. Clayton in the first game batting in the number 5 spot. He had a couple of base hits. We had 14 hits in that first game. 1-0 pitch, line drive, foul ball, says the home plate umpire. That went right over the third base bag. And now the ball gets away. Home plate umpire ruled foul ball. The Auggie runners keep running. And Coach Keith Bateman showing shock like, are you kidding me? He kept the runners going. Now everybody has to go back to their respective positions. De Cook back to first base and Bodine back to the home plate. It looked like it was right over the bag, but that first hop has to be in fair territory once it crosses the bag. I'm trying to
no, if it goes over the bag, it should be a fair ball. Now, granted, that's a really tough call in this situation because it's a third base umpire's call normally.
Right.
Home plate umpire, really, that's a hard ball to whip your head around and see. So if it lands foul, they're probably going to call it foul. Probably not the right call, but understandable in this situation.
So it's 1-1 on the Auggie shortstop. Movic delivers, and the breaking ball is down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, that ball would have scored at least 1 run. Throw to first base, and De Cook gets back in time. JD 9 for 12 in the stolen base department. Correction, 10 of 13. He had a stolen base in the 11th inning. The first game, yes, we went 11 innings. And the Pipers getting 1 at the bottom of the inning to win 9-8. Two-one pitch, line drive, foul down the third baseline. Bates didn't even flinch. Coach Keith Bateman down the third baseline, right over his head. Stomby down at first base, Jeff Steinberg. Scotty Leeser, Troy Deaton, the new dad, Abe Welkley. Congratulations, Abe and Jenna. New baby this week. 2-2 pitch. And that one's fouled off to the right hand. Back it out of play. Speaking of newborns, how's your little one doing, Charlie?
I don't know if he counts as a newborn anymore. He's almost 2.
Oh, 2, okay.
He's doing great.
Met him at the basketball banquet.
Yeah, he didn't quite make it through the entire banquet.
Here's one line to left field, and Zura coming on. He dives, and he drops the ball. Everybody's safe. Looked like he made the catch, but then when he hit the turf, it popped loose. And that will be a base hit.
That's got to be a base hit.
Bodine on first base. Auggies at first and second. Down by a couple runs, 3-1 here in the top of the third inning. And here's Mike Brookshaw. Brooksy with his first home run of the season. 12th RBI. Going for the fences this time. Swing and a miss. That time he tried to pull it. His home run went just the opposite way. He curled around the foul pole down there at the 330 mark. Just their second home run, the third home run of the season. Rydell in the first game. Here's one line down the right field line. It is hooking. It is a fair ball. And a late jump by Cook turning third. He's going to score. Throw it to second base. He's safe. Now the throw home. Coming home. They got to play at the plate. Slide tag. Got him. They got Boudin. Clayton with a late jump. But Brookshaw will get credited with an RBI. An RBI double. That's his 13th RBI this season. DeCrook scored, but Boudin is thrown out at the plate. I think that was 9-4-2 on the put out.
The way Boudin slid into home and looked back at the bag at third, I wonder if there was some confusion on the go versus stop sign there. That's not necessarily a situation you want to take a chance because you still have runners at second and third and nobody out.
Here's Kane Turner. First pitch, slider on the outside corner from Domovic. And it's 2-1. Keane in the first game had a couple of hits, an RBI, a run scored. He was part of that 9-man sixth inning when the Auggies scored 5 runs to tie it at 8-all. Keane, one of our seniors out of Clinton, Gracefield, Beardsley. In West Central Minnesota. A 1 from Domovic, and it's outside. Ball 1 strike.
Now, Brookshaw had a tough opener here in the doubleheader, but he's making up for it here in the nightcap. He's halfway to the cycle already. Just needs that triple, and, he may have a real shot at it.
And here's one driven high and deep and way foul. And that might find I-94 in the roof of somebody out there. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, Brooksy was 0 for 4 until he had a single back in the 9th inning. So he's had, 3 of 4. That's right, he did ground out in the 11th inning. 1-2 to Turner. And the pitch in the dirt. Engen with a stop. No advance by the base runner Brookshaw out there at second base. By the way, for Brooksy, that is his 3rd double of the year. 1 down in the inning. That means Zach Baku will get a chance. And the pitch, fastball up the middle. Messerschmidt fields. Hunter turns and throws, and it's in time. Moving up on the play on the slowly hit ball was Mike Brookshaw at third base. 6-3 on the putout. 2 down for the Auggies here in the top of the 3rd inning. Now trailing by a run, 3-2. They about hit the Pipers. 6-4. It's for even in the first game at 14 apiece. Here's Zach Bacco singled back in the 2nd inning. And then was forced out. And the first offering misses wide. 1 ball, no strikes.
Brookshaw did some really nice base running on that ground ball. He got a great secondary lead and then recognized immediately the ball was to his left. Took off for third. That's not necessarily a guarantee that somebody will get to third there.
Ground ball up the middle. Nice stop by Buck. Turns and throws. Did he pull him off the bag? And they said yes. He stayed on the bag.
Looked like he got back onto the bag because Schoenfeld was certainly off it, but reached that long leg out and got there.
So 4-3 in the putout. The Auggies come back with a run on a couple of base hits. 3 base hits. A run on 3 base hits. There were no errors and 1 run left on base. And 2.5 of the book out of 7 as this is Augie Game Day on Augie Game Central.
Well, Thrivent Financial is a financial services organization that helps Christians be wise with money and live generously. For more than a century, we've helped nearly 2.4 million member owners make wise money choices that reflect their values, and we provide opportunities for them to be even more generous where they live, work, and worship. Contact Augsburg alumni Alex Gonzalez for more information at 952-358-3442. And Twin Cities Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine provider for Augsburg Athletics. TCO is an all-inclusive orthopedic, sports medicine, and wellness provider offering world-class services and state-of-the-art facilities. Visit us at tcomn.com.
It'll be Hamline coming to bat here in the bottom of the 3rd inning in a 1-run ball game. Hamline, we mentioned down the road at Gustavus and St. Mary's next week. We mentioned the winners in their first games of the doubleheader. Let's see if we have finals in Game 2 around the conference. And in Game 2, McAllister beat Gustavus 10-3. Game 2, St. Mary's over Concordia 8-3. First pitch of the inning. Flied into short center field. Brookshaw out over the shoulder catch. He drops the ball. Good courage. Popped one up into short center field, and Brooksy trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch, looking back into the sun, went off the heel of his glove. And Courage has himself a base hit. He's now 1 for 2, 7th or 5th hit of the ballgame for the Pipers. And here's Cullen Buck. Courage with 1 hit in the first game. And Jake Kraft on the mound for the Auggies. And there's a pass ball up the glove of Dylan. And taking second base is Courage, Dylan Foote. And the Cat. Buck is now 1 ball and no strikes. Here's one back to the mound. Kraft has a play at third, throw, tag, and they got him. And Walker Rogers. And he's up and limping. There's a crash, and the slide may have gotten him in the leg. And he's trying to walk it off. The force play at third base, or not the force play, but the tag play. Kraft throwing to Walker. Walker did a great job despite the hard slide by Courage, and Rogers tagged him. I don't think Courage's foot even got to the third base bag.
Well, the base coach right there certainly seemed to think that it got through. I'm not sure it got all the way to the bag, but it did come right through Rogers. Good to see him able to continue here because that was solid contact.
Yeah.
When you block the bag, you know you're in for it. But he did a nice job.
Cullen Buck is now on base on a fielder's choice, and that'll be Jeremy Zura, the left fielder. Popped up his last plate appearance. JK delivers. It misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. I think I can't use the initials anymore because we got 3 pitchers that all have JK. Jamie K, Jacob Carey, and Jacob Kraft. 1-0 pitch from Kraft, and it's upstairs. Ball 2-2-0. Sir in the first game with 3 hits. He walked a couple of times, drove in a run, scored a run. In fact, scored the winning run in the bottom of the 11th inning. 2-0 pitch up the middle, off the mound, into center field, base hit. As Brookshire, the crook up with the ball. Thought the mound might slow that one down long enough for Bodine to get to it, but it crisscrossed the second baseman and shortstop into center field, and Zura has himself a base hit. The Pipers have first and second. And 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And here's a Zach Langton, another Assembly Spartan product. He walked on, or hit by a pitch. He was ball 4, but hit by a pitch, scored in the 2nd inning. As he takes the first pitch on the inside corner for strike, and it's 2-1.
Good pitch by Kraft. He's had a trouble getting ahead of hitters here, but we've seen that pitch to lefties a couple times. Good slider right at the knees on the inside corner. Struck out Buck with that pitch a couple innings ago.
First and second, Langton checks first hand. Did it hit him, or did it hit the bat?
They're going to say it hit the bat. I thought it hit him right in the numbers.
A high pitch inside, and they ruled that. Trying to duck out of the way, but Langton's bat came up in the air and got a piece of it and fouled it off, and it's no balls and 2 strikes.
We really have seen quite a few bizarre things in this doubleheader. There's another one. Kraft
to Dylan Foote. That's their battery. And the pitch, and it is popped up. Short right field. Wind taking it toward the crook. Who's got it? JD's there to make the catch. Jordan DeCrook with the second out.
Almost caught that in the infield. That was a ball that was hit to straightaway right, and it ended up nearly as a pop out to the shortstop. Great job by DeCrook to stay with that ball, because I was tracking it off the bat all the way and just watched it keep curving, bend. There's a real good fade on that pop-up.
Went again, blowing hard from the right field corner to the left field corner. Changed directions a couple of times today. Hunter Messerschmidt fly to center field in the first, his first at bat.
Remember how this inning started. The ball that popped up that Buck had to try to track going back out. As hard as it is for an infielder or an outfielder to find a ball coming in. Going out on a ball today is just a nightmare.
0-1 now the count of Messerschmidt. Shadow's about halfway between home and the mound, so that should be advantage to the pitcher. Kraft ahead on the 0-1 and delivers way wide, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to the number 8 man in the order from Winnetka County, Wisconsin. He's one of their seniors. Scored 1 run in the first game, walked a couple of times. Throw back behind the runner, and the timing play and getting back just in time was Cullen Buck. The runner at second, and Zura is on at first base.
They might have had a chance at it there, but the throws to the bases from Kraft today don't have a ton on them. Almost like he's guiding the baseball there.
Kraft again is sets up on the outside corner, and it's fouled. Off-speed pitch, and Messerschmidt got around on it. Drew it fouled on the third baseline, and it's 1-2. Pretty spacious behind the home plate. The foul territory until you get down to within 20, 30 feet of the foul poles where the grandstands jut out. But such a colorful scene with all the different colored advertising signs that I imagine when the lights are on at night, just a beautiful sight. 2-2 now the count of Messerschmidt with Elliot Engen on deck. Deuces across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. We see the deuce from Kraft. Balled off, no changeup. And it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. First game went a little over 3 hours, about 3 hours and 10 minutes maybe. We're a little over an hour old in this second game. I thought I'd be home fixing supper right about now. 2-2 pitch, lined into center field. The Crook coming on, and he makes the running catch. And he has his third put out of the day. For the Piper, they threatened but do not score. No runs on 2 hits. No errors and 2 more runners left on base at the end of 3 innings complete. It is Hamline 3, your Augsburg Auggies 2. This is Augie Game Day with Charlie and Tam here on Augie Game Central.
And this game brought to you by Wells Fargo, proud supporter of the Auggies and dedicated to helping people build better every day. Call, click, or stop by to start a conversation with us today. Wells Fargo, building better every day. And Devani's Pizza and Hot Hoagies is Augsburg Athletics' first choice for a great meal. Devani's is located right across the street and offers the amazing Augie-matic discount. Get 10% off any order. Just tell them you want the Augie-matic discount at Devani's.
All right, let's take a look at softball scores. St. Thomas on a no-hitter beats Stout 3-0 in their first game. Game 1, Gustavus over Carleton 4-2. Game 1, St. Mary's edged Bethel by a score of 9-8. Game 1, St. Kate's defeated Hamline by a score of 3-0. Game 1, Augsburg over Concordia 2-1. Gustavus and St. Scholastic were canceled. A final in Game 2, St. Thomas 7, UW Stout 1. And let's see what else do we have for finals. In Game 2, Gustavus over Carleton 8-2. St. Kate sweeping Hamline. Another shutout 4-0 in the second game. Krista Flugstedt getting another win, I'm sure. Bethel defeating St. Mary's by a score of 9-6. And in Game 2, our Auggies 15-1 over Concordia as we pounded out a dozen hits. Augsburg coming to bat here in the top of the 4th inning, down by a run. Cam Erickson out playing first base today, our second game. Donovan played first in the first game. Erickson, Rogers, and Rydell. First pitch ground to the left side. Out with it. It's good courage. Sidearm throw gets him. Erickson on the first pitch. He's the first out here in the top of the 4th inning. And a tip of the cap to our crew here, Tom Ritchie and Ethan Allen on our 2 cameras. Tom Ritchie did such a fabulous job the other night at Northwestern in sub-freezing temperatures as we sat out in the top row of the bleachers. 1 ball to no strikes to Walker Rogers on base and a fielder's choice. back in the second inning. Takes the next offering upstairs, and it's at the letters for a strike. It is 1-1. One pitch. There's ball two. 2 balls and 1 strike. Walker with a couple of hits, or 1 hit in the first game. Also scored a run. 2 on to the Auggie third baseman, up and away. And Demovic falls behind him. Count 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yet to walk a batter today. Just his second 3-ball count of the day.
There's ball 4. And there's the first freebie. Auggies have a 1-out base runner here in the top of the 4th inning. Again, we're going to go 7. Maybe. Don't give me that glare. Then we played 14 innings of baseball so far. First pitch, fastball, fouled off the bat of Joey Rydell, and so on 1 Joey with another base hit. He singled back in the second inning. And a 4-hit doubleheader. Scored 2 runs in the first game. Scored 3 runs in the first game. Had 2 RBIs. Here's one ground to the left side. And through the legs of Courage. And that'll be an error. And turning second on his way to third is Rogers. He's going to get there. And taking second base is Joey Rydell. And Joey's aboard again, but unfortunately, he will not be credited with a hit. That'll be an error. It'll be 5 right through the wickets. Charlie Beatty, being a goaltender, knows what that's all about.
What? They're going to check on Rogers here. He is not running well. He hustled the third, but he's not feeling all that great. There's going to be a meeting at the mound, but we may see...
Yeah, he's coming over to talk with Bateman. Yeah.
Well, it looks like he's going to stay in, but he got to third and basically doubled over. And, of course, he was run into at third base on that play last inning.
Right.
Gutting it out.
Yeah, it was Courage that collided with him at third base, and Walker did a great job to hold on to the ball. And so it is second and third here on Hamline, but the tying runs are on base. Swing and a miss by Dylan Foote as he tried to put one into orbit, and there's no balls at 1 strike. Dylan, a comebacker to the mound in his first plate appearance. Came into the series batting .290.
Doesn't need a big swing here, just contact to the right side.
And there's a check swing ground over towards the first base dugout occupied by the Pipers. And it's 0-2 on Dylan. Dylan with a double and a triple and 4 RBIs coming into the series. This is just his 13th game, his 10th start of the year in our 25 games. Dylan steps out now back into the right-handed batter's box. And Demovic comes home with a pitch and a swing and a miss. High heat. And going down swinging is Dylan Foote. And Demovic has his second strikeout of the ball game. That's 2 down for the Auggies. They've already stranded 3 runners. Let's clear the bases here. Here, Jordan DeCrook. He singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. Came in on a double by Mike Brookshaw.
Not only have they stranded 3, but they did have a runner thrown out at home as well. So disappointing a little bit.
And here's a fly to left center field. And making the catch, he is Benson. Mitch Benson crossing in front of his left fielder, Jeremy Zura. And DeCrook goes after the first pitch, flies out for the final out of the inning. Another threat goes by the boards. No runs, no hits, 1 Hamline error, 2 runners left on base. And 3.5 for the book. We're halfway home. It is 3-2 Pipers. Auggie Game Day on Auggie Game Central.
Owned and operated by an Augsburg alumnus, 360 Wow Inc. is the parent company to several up-and-coming brands in the Twin Cities. 1-800-GOT-JUNK, You Move Me, and Shack Shine. If you're looking for a great job on a great team with great pay that is near campus, learn more or apply online by visiting 360wowinc.com. And Jimmy John's is the #1 sandwich choice for Augsburg Athletics. They are located on the northwest corner of campus and provide fast delivery. How fast, you ask? Freaky fast. Go to www.jimmyjohns.com to view their menu and hours. Jimmy Johns.
Couple of notes on the Hamline side of the ledger, and we say congratulations belatedly to Natalie Darwitz, the Division III Women's Hockey Coach of the Year. Natalie, of course, played at the University of Minnesota, had a chance to broadcast her first couple of years for the Golden Gophers. Hamline Pipers getting to the national tournament. Congratulations, and also congratulations, good friend of mine, former Auggie assistant basketball coach Josh Hirsch, who will join the staff of Alex Polke as head coach, or as assistant coach for the Hamline Piper women's basketball team. Alex Folke, of course, the brother. The voice of the Minnesota Lynx, John Folke. It'll be Elliot Engen, Nolan Schoenfeld, and Jake Demovic to face Jacob Kraft in a one-run ball game. 3-2 Pipers here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Engen grounded Rogers back in the second inning. As Kraft, the left-hander, delivers, and it sails high. 1 ball, no strikes. Kraft working quickly, says yes to foot sign and delivers. And here's one foul off to the right back and on a play. 1-1. Also on the Piper scene, manning the scoreboard and doing the official scoring is Justin Spriggy, the all-conference quarterback for the Pipers. He's down a couple of boosts. 1-1 pitch, fouled same spot, backing out of play, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. We'll see the Pipers next fall in the very last game of the regular season. I believe that's November 10th or 11th at Klaus Field. It's inside, Charlie, so we'll be warm.
Inside, huh?
Yep. And with a beautiful press box. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's all glass and closed.
Oh, we're inside. The players aren't inside.
No.
Oh, you're going to say they were doming it up. I've driven by there. I don't see anything over the field.
2-2 from Kraft. Check swing, and it's down the way. Ball 3-2. And the Pipers and the Auggies.
That was a heck of a game last year, coming down to that late interception in the end zone by Isaiah Malone.
3-2 pitch, ball 4. Kraft got ahead 1-2, and now walks him his first walk of the ball game. And it's been kind of a tradition. That's the Pipers have had a leadoff batter on in every inning.
It was like that a lot in the early portion of game 1 as well.
Schoenfeld, the batter's been on base twice, a single, and on base on an error. He's stolen 2 bases. He's scored a couple runs. He's a second leading hitter. 3 stolen bases today, almost a pitch yet. And it's wide ball, 1 ball, no strikes.
No activity in the Augsburg bullpen. You mentioned it. A lot of the pitchers they want to use this weekend, they have used. Although they might be getting somebody up right now. They don't have a ton of options left. They need Kraft to eat up a few innings here in this game.
Next weekend, of course, 5 games. That'll use up the pitching staff. Single game Friday, doubleheader Saturday, doubleheader Sunday. 1-0 pitch. Bunt pushed down the first base line off the mound. Kraft turns, throws the first in time. And the sacrifice is complete. Cam Erickson manning first base, taking the throw. And so that's 1-3 on the sacrifice for Nolan Schoenfeld. And moving to second base is Elliot Engen. And here's Jake Demovic, the opposing pitcher. Single and an RBI in the first inning. And a 2-run single to give the Pipers the lead in the second inning. 14 RBIs now on the sophomore from Coon Rapids.
Tough to see the number from here. Who's just lightly warming up right now, but I think it is Patrick Bottenfield, number 30.
Yeah, gray on maroon, sometimes a little tough to pick up, at least.
Well, especially with partitions and fence in the way.
And 350 feet away. Off-speed pitch. Swinging over the top of it is Demovic, and it's no balls and 1 strike. 1 aboard and 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
If that's the case, Bottenfield has not been used yet this year.
A 1 fastball misses down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pipers starting 5-8 in conference and 12-17 overall. So obviously they're not going to get to their 40-game total. Going to get 4 games for sure in that I've got on my schedule, but Coach Jim Wyatt probably scheduling a couple more. 1-1 pitch, low, foot with his stop, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Gustavus and St. Mary's on their schedule. Next week, both games on the road. New ballpark down in there in St. Peter. They did everything right, except they didn't build a press box. I saw the picture. There's nothing behind home plate except bleachers. 2-1 pitch, wide, ball 3, 3-1.
Now no activity in the Augsburg bullpen, so whatever that was, it was not warming up in earnest. This is certainly Kraft's game for the foreseeable future.
Down to the count, needs to come back on this one. 3 balls and 1 strike with the runner at second base. And the pitch breaking ball misses down and in. Ball 4, back to back, 2 walks here in the inning. First and second and 1 out for Mitch Benson, their leading hitter. Came into the day batting .360. In this game, a single in the first, fly out in the second inning. And Scotty Lees is going to come out to talk to Jacob. You mentioned no warm-up action in the bullpen, at least temporarily. Again, the playoff situation. Next week, it is the softball Final 6. St. Thomas hosting. And the MWLC, the Midwest Women's Lacrosse Conference. And the Auggies are in for the 2nd straight year. Auggie softball is in next week. And the following week, baseball here at CHS Field. And also that second week, the MIAC Outdoor Track and Field Championships from Laird Stadium at Carleton College in Northfield. And let's see if Emmanuel Egbajar can make his way to the NCAAs. If I could only be half as fast as he is. Not at my tender age. Benson to step in after the conference on the mound. Kraft delivers way wide, ball 1.
This is a dangerous spot. You got great hitters coming up for the next couple batters. Now there is some action again in the bullpen. It is Quentin Lake who's warming up right now, number 27.
1-0 pitch going to the right side. Erickson to play at second is in time and no relay. That should be runner interference. Bodine tried to make the throw to first, and the runner ran right into his arm. And so is a 3-6 put out. The runner at second base, and Jake Domovic at 2 down. Moving to third is Engen. And safe on the first base is Mitch Benson on the fielder's choice. If you're in there active throwing and the runner runs into you, isn't that an interference?
I always thought so, especially since it looked like in that situation that Bodine had moved his way well out of the base path to throw to first. There was no one to throw to, so I don't know if that makes a difference. It shouldn't.
Here's Nick Courage. Singled his last plate appearance. He's 1 for 2. And again, missing with that first pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. First and third, 2 outs in a 3-2 ball game here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Next offering as the runners go, and they go hit and run, foul down the right field line. That levels the count of 1 ball, 1 strike. The baseball on this Saturday afternoon, the Golden Gophers and the Ohio State Buckeyes, Bill Davis Stadium in Columbus, Ohio. Gophers have taken the first 2 games of that series. They haven't seen a final. And the Twins and the Reds at Target Field earlier this afternoon. And I believe the Gopher softball team finishing their series at West Lafayette. Oh, wait a minute, that's at home against the Purdue Boilermakers. Or what a roll they are on.
Final score of the Twins game, Cincinnati 8, Twins 2.
Oh.
A tough weekend for the Twins.
And Barrios started the game, didn't he?
I believe so. It was his slot in the rotation, but the Reds came into the Twin Cities with 5 wins.
And lead was 7. 1-2 the count. Get Courage. Kraft says yes to the sign, working with this from the stretch with the base open, and the pitch, ground ball, just fair inside the third baseline. 1 run will score. Benson on his way to third, given the green light. He's heading home into second base with a double as Bacofana gets the ball back into the infield. But Good Courage with a double down the left field line, just inside the bag, picks himself up a couple of RBIs as Engen comes in to score. Benson comes in to score, and the Pipers now lead by a score of 5-2. And for Nick, that is RBIs 13 and 14 on the season.
Well, even if Walker Rogers were feeling perfect, there was no way he was getting to that ball. That was hit hard and all the way down into the corner before Baco could even get to it.
Here's Cullenbuck, the left-hander. He is 0 for 2 on base on a fielder's choices last plate appearance. And the first offering is up and away. If anything, for first pitch strike there, young man. Want to know the count. And the lead is 3. The pitch, wide ball, 2. 2 balls and no strikes to the number 5 man in the order. This young man out of Eastview High School, and he's just a freshman. I think they have their second baseman for the next couple of years.
Buck is a very good player.
2-0, wide ball, 3. 3-0. And you mentioned number 27 in the bullpen for the Auggies.
Backup football quarterback / baseball pitcher Quentin Lake.
Yeah. 3-0 pitch, low, all 4 strike, 3-1. Yeah, I think we're pretty well healed, I think, at the quarterback department next fall.
I've got several options, that's for sure. Quinn Frizzell, though, I'm excited to see what he can do with a year under his belt.
3-1 pitch, check swing, strike 2, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Last year, he made some great plays, made a few mistakes that you would expect a new quarterback to make. If he irons those out, he is going to light up.
And that young offensive line with a year under their belts provide a little bit more protection. We got to find somebody to replace Mr. Lightning, Tyrus Bolton. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a changeup. As Buck goes down swinging for Kraft's 3rd strikeout of the ballgame, but the Pipers come up with a couple of runs on 1 base hit, 2 runs on 1 hit, no Augie errors, and 1 runner left on base. And at the end of 4, it is Hamline 5, Augsburg 2. Charlie and Tam here on Augie Game Central.
Well, whether it's across town or across country, let Minnesota Coach's quality equipment and experienced, courteous drivers provide you worry-free transportation. Overnight and extended trip options are available. Visit www.minnesotacoaches.com today to request a quote. Minnesota Coaches is the official bus provider for Augsburg Athletics and the Courtyard Minneapolis Hotel. Impress us with state-of-the-art guest rooms, private meeting spaces, and mouth-watering fare at the Bistro. Conveniently located, featuring a complimentary shuttle to bring you right to all the Augie sports action. Visit them at courtyard.com/MSPDC at the Courtyard Minneapolis Hotel. It's a new stay.
And I think we have a new pitcher for the Hamline Pipers. And it is Zach Smith. 4-4 record. This is his 13th appearance. And he has a couple of saves, 32 plus innings of work. Opponent's batting .321. Zach Smith on relief of Jacob Domovic. And Domovic goes 4 innings, giving up 6 hits, 2 runs, and I believe it was one of those earned or both of those earned.
Both runs earned.
Yes, both runs earned. Walk and a couple of strikeouts. Zach Smith, senior left-hander from Burnsville, the Blaze. And he'll face Clayton Bodine, Mike Brookshaw, and Keith Turner.
Augie's trying to come from behind for the second consecutive game today. Much bigger deficit in the opener. They were down 8-2 at this same point.
Modine, 1 for 2. And he goes after the first pitch, pops it up. Then he'll drift back and out of play. And it's 0-1. Come back into the mound. First plate appearance, singled in the third. And then tried to score on that double by Mike Brookshaw and got thrown out the plate by Cullen Buck. 0-1 pitch. Got jammed on it, fouled it off. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. It is Bodine, Brookshaw, and Turner here in the top of the 5th inning. Game 2, 9-8. Pipers in game 1 in 11 innings. Wide for an offering, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two fastball swing and a miss. Movic blew it right by him. Third strikeout. Bodine way late on the swing. 1 down for the Auggies here in the 5th, and here's Mike Brookshaw. Brookshaw started the day slow, but has had 3 hits in his last 4 plate appearances. In this game, a home run, his first of the year, 12th RBI. Double to drive in a run in the 3rd inning. Started the day batting .500. Started the season as shortstop and moved to second base with Bodine taking over at short. Off-speed pitch, drops in at the knees, no balls and 1 strike. Junior out of Prescott, the Cardinals. Good baseball, basketball tradition over there. 0-1 pitch. Low, ball 1. Their basketball last couple of years in the hands of All-State point guard Peter Brookshaw. He's going to play baseball for NDSU. Swing and a miss. Pitch in on the hands. No balls or 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tomovic is ready. This time delivers low around the knees, and it's 2-2. With Turner on deck. With the win, big gap in right center. There's one all the way back to the screen, 3-2. Mitch Benson is giving Brooksy about 30 feet of the right field gap. He's all the way towards the left field side of second base. Brookshaw find the gap to that 400-foot side. He could run forever, and he got jammed on it and fouls it back to stay alive. Concurring at third, Messerschmidt at short, Buck at second, Schoenfeld at first, Engen behind the plate, Zura in left, Benson in center, and Zach Langton in right field. 3-2 pitch, popped up left side. It's going to go foul. Can anybody get to it? No. One hops the turf and into the grandstand down there. As Brookshaw's fallen off a couple, and keeps the count at 3-2 with 1 out. Looks like a lot of fans just use the ballpark as the walking path. There's that concourse that rings the whole ballpark. Here's one again, fouled off to the left, backing over the head of everybody, and it's still 3-2.
Good way to get exercise and still see some of the game.
Yeah.
Unless you're behind the batter's eye, then you're blocked.
And the flag out there briskly blowing from the right field corner to the left field corner. Swing and a miss on the next one. May have been foul tipped. It was. As Brookshaw goes down swinging. And Zach Smith has his first strikeout of the ballgame. 4th by the Piper pitching staff. And here's Keene Turner. Twice has grounded out to short. And 0 for 2 today. First offering from the left-hander, chopped foul. Wide of third base and down the line. And Tomovic ahead on the count of no balls for 1 strike. Here's one lofted into right field. Langton moves a couple steps, comes in and puts it away. And Tomovic sails through the 5th inning, 3 up and 3 down for the Auggies. And it is 5-2 Pipers going to the bottom of the 5th here from CHS Field. This is Augie Game Day on Augie Game Central.
I'll take a trip down memory lane at Memory Lanes and Flashback Cafe on 26th Avenue in South Minneapolis. 30 bowling lanes, live entertainment, great food, and 2 game rooms make for a great time. Visit www.memorylanesmpls.com for more information. And Twin Cities Orthopedics is proud to be the official sports medicine provider for Augsburg Athletics. TCO offers orthopedic urgent care hours at 6 convenient locations across the metro. Open from 8 to 8, 7 days a week. Visit us at tcomn.com to find a location near you.
And we're joined by Don Stoner up here in the booth. He got the Auggie girls. Actually, was probably just watching the stats back home. He did not make the trip to Moorhead. It is the Hamline Pipers coming to bat here at the bottom of the 5th inning. Jeremy Zura, Zach Langton, and Hunter Messerschmidt. And let's see who our new pitcher is for the Auggies. And
Quentin Lake is on the mound.
Lake, okay.
You mentioned he was warming up a moment ago. 3 appearances, no record so far. This is his 4th appearance. 5.79 ERA, 9 and a third innings pitched, 10 strikeouts. Opponent's hitting .256 against Quentin.
And Quentin Lake, freshman from Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon, coming all the way to the Midwest to play his college sports. Welcome to the Midwest. Hopefully we didn't scare you off by the winner we just had. You will face Azura, Langton, and Messerschmidt here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Otherwise, no other position changes for the Auggies.
4 innings for Kraft, 7 hits allowed, 5 runs, 3 earned. Walked 2, he struck out 3, he hit a batter. And he's on the hook for the loss, of course, unless things change.
Augsburg and, again, University of Minnesota Morris, 5 o'clock on Friday at Parade. 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon at Bethel. 1 o'clock back at Parade on Senior Day on a Sunday. The Don's been here for the better part of the afternoon taking pictures. You can find them, of course, on the beautiful Augie website. 0, 1 for 2, singled his last plate appearance. His Lake delivers a fastball, ground ball left side, and it's just off the glove of Roger down in the corner. That could be extra bases. 0 rounding first, on his way to second. Throw was late, and another double for the Pipers. And guess what? Another leadoff batter. 5 innings, 5 leadoff batters aboard for the Pipers, and here is Zach Langton. Here's hit number 8 for the Pipers. They had 14 in the first game. Langton hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning, fly to center. His last plate appearance. Quentin trying to keep it right here. Give us a couple of innings to get this game back to tie. Or better, maybe a win. Fastball in on the hand, swing and a miss.
Trying to do what Charlie Linder did in that first game. Fantastic effort out of the bullpen by him. Started rough, gave up a couple runs in the first few innings. Shut it down until the extras when he turned it over to Cody Perkle.
Lake checks second base, and Zura delivers. Fastball just missed the outside corner. That was off the count 1-1. Infield back all the way around with 1 out and nobody out. Up and away, ball 2. 2 balls or 1 strike. Again, earlier, Twins losing to the Reds. Lose 2 out of 3. Head down the road. I think they had the White Sox next. Two-one delivery, grounded just foul on at third base and down the line. That'll level off the count at 2-2. And CHS Field will host the MIAC playoffs. St. Scholastica and Wade Stadium will host the regionals, and Cedar Rapids, the Colonels, will be hosting the NCAA Division III World Series. 2-2 to Langton, the freshman. Here's a ground ball to the right side. Erickson behind the back. Boots it. Picks it up. Now has to tag the runner.
He dropped the ball, so everybody's safe. The tag actually knocked it out of his glove.
Okay. And now Coach Keith Bateman wants to talk to the second base umpire. This time it's a different one than game one. So Langton is aboard on an error by Cam Erickson, E3. Taking third is Jeremy Zura. Looked like an easy play for Cam. He bobbled the ball, picked up, tried to tag the runner going back, and the runner knocked it out of his glove. Running through.
They're going to talk this over to see if it was knocked out of the glove illegally. You can't actually slap the ball out of the glove. Remember that famous play with Alex Rodriguez so many years ago, but that was not the case here. He tried to tag him on the chest and just didn't really have the handle.
So they ruled the base runner safe. Runners at the corners, first and third, nobody out. For the number 8 man in the batting order, Hunter Messerschmidt. Twice his flight out to JD out there in center field. Our Gold Glove center fielder. But unfortunately, this season he's had 3 errors. Last year he played the entire season with no errors. Ball 1, the count on Messerschmidt.
Messerschmidt flashing a bunt there. Maybe a safety squeeze.
Rogers even at the bag at third. Erickson holding his runner at first base, and the pitch scoring around, takes the pitch just outside. And Quinton falls behind in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Pipers now with 5 wins in conference. 2-0 pitch, high ball 3. 3-0. Kraft walked a couple. So that's 10. 10 walks so far today, and Quinton in danger of issuing another one. 3-0. And there's a strike on the inside corner. Taking all the way was Messerschmidt in his 3-1. Lake delivers. Fastball fouled straight back. That'll run the count full at 3-2. Looking in ahead to the 6th inning, the Auggies with just a couple of innings to try to get back to the ball game, and they'll have 5, 6, and 7. Baco, Erickson, and Rogers. Lake delivers. Fouled straight back. Still 3-2. Charlie Beatty alongside Tom Ritchie, the Silver Fox, and Ethan Allen on camera down the beautiful concourse or a press box here at CHS. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Lake comes back to get 3 straight strikes and has his first strikeout, 4th by the Augie pitching staff in this ball game. We had 4 strikeouts in game number 1.
Now, if the Auggies are able to come back in this game, mark that at bat down as a turning point. Lake able to get that first out. Now you've got a catcher at the plate. See what he can do with that.
And he goes after the first pitch, and it is fouled back. 0-1.
Langton running on the play, so Jim Wyatt just trying to make sure he keeps his catcher out of a double play situation.
Engen walked on a 3-2 pitch in the 4th inning and scored run number 4. Infield a double play up. There goes the runner. Pitch is low. Nothing that Dylan Foote could do about it. And on the wild pitch taking second base is Langton. So the Pipers have 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. Already a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, now you're in a situation, if you're Lake, where you have to go after a strikeout again. So far in limited action, he's proved to be strikeout pitcher.
And Coach Bateman is going to come out to talk to his infield and the pitcher. No action in the Augie bullpen right now. Keith Bateman is 15th year head coach of the Auggies. Mentioned Jim Wyatt, an alumni of the Pipers. Played his college baseball at Bethel. but now a mainstay on the Augsburg University campus. Again, congratulations to all 925 undergraduates who walked yesterday at Cy Melby Hall, including 74 of our student athletes. And just nothing but the best as you head out into the real world. Congratulations on what you've accomplished in the classroom and on the field of competition in your career. Back to play 0-1 on Engen. Now the infield going to play up all the way around. For play at the plate and the pitch swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And I say this for Lake, and not surprising given that he's a quarterback. He throws hard.
Yep.
That's a big plus in a situation like this when you need a strikeout.
One-two pitch, ground ball up the middle, fielded by Bodine, throws home, slide tag, got him. Little adventure there as Bodine kind of bobbled it, but he got it home. And Dylan Foote blocked the plate. He tagged the runner coming in, and 6-2 on the put out. Zura is out at the plate. Taking third is Langton, and Engen is on at first base in the fielder's choice. But that's a big second out here in the inning, keeping the score at 5-2.
And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner.
Yep. Come
in for Engen. Wearing the number 44, that is Eric Erb out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Sophomore outfielder.
So he will run for Elliot Engen. And top of the order, and Schoenfeld. Have yet to get him out this game. A single, still on base, scored. On base, still on base, scored. Sacrificed successfully in the 4th inning. Swinging away, pitch in the dirt, Dylan Foote stacks the pad, slides across the crease, and makes the step. That's 1 ball, no strikes. By the way, who's your favorite left in the Stanley Cup?
I like Winnipeg. They are really tough.
1-0 pitch down into the right field corner. That's going to be trouble. It's going to drop in for a base hit. And Langton will score. On his way to third is Eric Erb, and a long single by Schoenfeld. Again, we fail to get this young man on. RBI for Schoenfeld. And that's RBI number 15 on the season. And the lead is now 6-2. How about the Cinderella team, the Knights?
It's interesting because it's such a new group. I mean, San Jose is the old guard. I guess you got Nashville in there too in the Western Conference. But I think between Nashville and Winnipeg, you're going to have your 2 dominant teams in the Western Conference for the next 5 years.
Runner from first, steals second, throw down from home plate by Dylan Foote, gets off Rogers' glove, and a run will score. And taking third on the bad throw is the base runner Schoenfeld. So again, they tried the double steal, but instead of throwing to second, Dylan Foote threw to third, went off the glove of Walker Rogers, and that allowed Eric Erb to come in to score. And Schoenfeld taking third base, and the Auggies have the third of the ball game.
Yeah, that's a ball you just can't throw if you're Dylan Foote. You might get him out, but so many bad things can happen throwing behind a runner down to third in that situation. No real sense in it with 2 outs. Learning experience there for the catcher.
0-1 the count on Demovic. Correction, should be 0-2. 1-1, okay. 1 ball, 1 strike. To the opposing pitcher as Lake delivers. This is inside 2-1. Demovic singled an RBI in the 1st inning. Singled in the 2nd, drove in 2 more runs. He walked in the 4th inning. 7-2 in favor of the Pipers. 2-1 pitch from Quentin Lake. Ground ball to the right side. That'll score a run. Up with the ball. Correction, that was 2 outs. And the ball gets away from Erickson, and a run will score. And that's 2 errors in the inning. Schoenfeld makes it an 8-2 ball game. And the Augie defense has come unglued here in this inning.
Situation where you're playing your 16th inning of baseball in an afternoon. Sometimes hard to keep your focus, and when it starts to get away from you, it gets even harder. You have to dig deep.
So 2 unearned runs out of the 3 here in this inning. It is 8-2. And there goes Demovic. Throw down to second base. Slide, tag, and I think he's safe. Yes, he is. Oh, the Pipers have been aggressive all afternoon long.
And they're going to run on foot until he proves he can get them.
Yeah, the batter is Benson. 1 for 3 on base on a fielder's choice and scored in the 4th inning. As Lake delivers, it's high. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. Benson, their leading hitter, coming in. One of 2 young men above the 300 mark of the season. The other one, Schoenfeld. And the pitch up the middle, off the glove, a foot, comes to Brookshaw, throws to first base, and it's in time. And there's the final out of the inning. Benson grounds out, but a disastrous inning for the Auggies. For the Pipers, they come up with 3 more runs. And I think 2 base hits, 2 errors, and 1 runner left on base. Thank you, Charlie. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, it is Hamline 8 and your Auggies 2. This is Augie Game Day on Augie Game Central.
Oh, you want to know a secret about Devani's Pizza and Hot Hoagies? Devani's mixes their dough fresh in shop several times throughout the day, and they locally source ingredients as much as possible, like their award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese. That's why Devani's Pizza tastes so good. Are you craving Devani's yet?
Did they deliver to CHS, by the way? Devani's?
Only one way to find out.
Don, pick up the phone. Let's call. There you go. The automatic 10% discount. Give me my lasagna, my cheesy bread, and I'll be happy. So the Auggies have they were down 8-2 in the first game and came back and tied it, but they did that over a space of 2 or 3 innings. Now we've only had 6 shots to do it. And Zach Smith shut down the Auggies 1-2-3 in the 5th inning. You'll face Zach Bacco, Cam Erickson, and Walker Rogers. Zach 1 for 2. He singled back in the 2nd inning. Zach Smith out of Burnsville, the Blaze. They made the state tournament here a few years ago. First pitch, bunted tap down the third baseline, and it's foul. I think Burnsville was involved in that dramatic game where the winning team came from like 6 or 7 runs down in the final inning to win it. Forget if Burnsville was on the losing side of that or the winning side. A 1-pitch swing and a miss, swinging for the heels, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch down and away, ball 1. Now this being a 7-inning game, Demovic playing forward or pitching forward, would he get the win?
I believe you only need to go 4 to get the win in a 7-inning game.
1-2 pitch, up and away, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Demovic 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned a walk and 3 strikeouts. Bacco leading off the inning, and he drives it to left field, and Dave coming towards the line. Izura Jeremy makes a fair ball catch. He's stuck with it, and that is 1 down here in the 6th inning. I lost as soon as it went off the bat, up in the shadows there. And again, kept blowing away from Izura, but he stuck with it, made the fair ball catch, 1 down for the Auggies. Here's Cam Erickson playing first base here in game 2. The young man out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. So for 2, first pitch, line drive. There's a base hit into the right center field gap. Get by. Erickson rounding first, making the wide turn, and thinks the better of it and comes back to first base as Erickson aboard a single. And a 1-out base runner for the Auggies here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's Walker Rogers. Walker on base and a fielder's choice in the 2nd. Walked, got as far as 3rd base in the 4th inning. 17 innings. My boy's not quite ready for that. First pitch to Walker, and it's down and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Smith checks first and delivers fastball. Falls off the mask, I think, of Engen or the home plate umpire. Back to the screen, 1-1.
Actually, I believe that's the Game 1 hero, Kyle Hartwig, who's in there now catching. Engen pinch run for last inning, so I think they did bring in Hartwig again.
Number 38.
Hard to see the numbers, of course, behind the catching support straps. I think that's a 33 on his back. Again, we'll see when he comes up to bat.
1-1 pitch, foul tipped in and out of the glove of the new Piper catcher. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rydell on deck and Dylan Foote to follow. Down by half a dozen. Short lead at first base, delivering home 1-2. Swing and a foul tip into the mitt. And it's held on to, there's a strikeout for Zach Smith, his second strikeout of the ballgame. And 2 down for the Auggies here in the top of the 6th inning. And here's Joey Rydell. Joey has been on base every time this afternoon. A base hit and on base on an error here in this game. First game. Goes after the first pitch and lines it foul. First game, walked on 4 pitches and scored. Solo home run on the very first pitch. And then the 5th inning, singled to drive in yet another run, scored another run, singled again in the 8th inning. All right, he did strike out in the 11th inning. On base twice here. 0-1 to Rydell. And the pitch, it's low. Ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike to the junior. Out of Forest Lake. They've got to state last year. They're having a pretty good season again this year. Probably will go down to them in Stillwater again in the Section 4 final. That's right, Forest Lake is in Section 7. 1-1 pitch. Got jammed on it. Fouls it back off to the right now to play. And it's 1-2. Manchester Joey also plays for the Brewers in town ball during the summer. 1-2 pitch, fouled off at the plate. Speaking of that, last year's catcher, of course, Red Abig, he played town ball for the Hampton Cardinals in the Classic Cannabella League for a couple of years. I think he played for his dad down there. 1-2 on Rydell. The base runner is Erickson. As the pitch from Smith, ground ball, foul out at third base and down the line. They'll keep the count at 1-2. Auggie girls again a 2-1 win and a 15-1 blowout in game number 2 that went just the 5 innings. For their 21st win of the year, 13th in conference and making the playoffs. 1-2 to Joey. There's a swing and a miss. Heat up and away, and Rydell went after it. And came up empty, and he strikes out strikeout number 3 for Zach Smith for the Auggies. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 run left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is Hamline 8, Augsburg 2. MIAC baseball here on Auggie Game Central.
And it's brought to you by Wells Fargo. On your phone, online, on the go. Bank virtually anywhere and anytime with Wells Fargo mobile banking. Download the Wells Fargo app now. And the Corner Bar is a proud sponsor of Augsburg Athletics, located in Minneapolis' historic Seven Corners district. The Corner Bar is the perfect place for great food, outstanding pizza, and the almost world-famous Joey Wings. And there's tons of screens, so you won't miss a second of the action. Visit thecorner.bar for more information on the Corner Bar.
And an update, men's golf team, Eric's team, the men's golf team, they win the St. Mary's Invite by 45 strokes with a 2-day total of 623. Levi Hauser, the medalist, at 155, and the Auggies take 5 of their top 6 places in the individual championships. That's the spring portion of the golf schedule. The Auggie golf program in very good hands with Eric Rowland. And do we have a new pitcher? At Quentin Lake again out there?
That is Quentin again.
Okay. And he will face Kukurich, Buck, and Azura here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 8-2. Piper's 8 runs on 9 hits in an error. The Auggies 2 runs, 7 hits. And a crooked number in the air department. I'm not going to talk about it. Courage with a double his last plate appearance. He is 2 for 3 in the ball game. As Lake delivers, breaking pitch. Anthony is for strike, and it's 2-1. Shadow's now almost all the way out to second base, so not a problem for pitcher or batter. Almost hit him, and it did hit him in the left shoulder. He didn't lean into the pitch. He tried to get out of the way of it, and a hit batter. As the Pipers have a leadoff batter aboard in the 6th consecutive inning. And they had leadoff batters in all but one inning in the 11 inning affair in the first game. Here's Cullen Buck. He is 0 for 2 or 0 for 3. Struck out twice looking and swinging. On base on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning.
Another pinch runner in the game, Ryan Brower.
Okay.
Running for Kukurich.
Lake delivers. Fastball fouled straight back 0-1. Lake trying to get out of this inning with no further damage. The Auggies have Foot to Crook and Bodine in the top of the 7th inning. Q delivers. Breaking ball down and in. Ball 1, 1 strike. The runner goes again. Loop down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Hit and run. Down to the corner. That's trouble. As Buck around first on his way to second coming home is the pinch runner. And Ryan Brandt will score, and that makes it 9-2. Buck with a double down the left field line. Another extra base hit for the Pipers. Their 10th hit of the ball game. It's a 7-run ball game. And the Pipers, again, continuing to be very aggressive here this afternoon. They tried a number of double steals, hit and runs. That one is a hit and run. And Buck did his job. Here's Jeremy Zura. He doubled his last plate appearance, was thrown out of the plate by Clayton Bodine. As Lake delivers, here's one driven to left center field and deep. That could be a gapper. It is. Going to roll all the way to the wall. 1 run will score. Zura on his way to second, makes the turn, and then he's going to duck back into the bag. A double to leap deep left center field out near the Killebrew Root Beer float booth out there. And hit number 11 for the Pipers, and Zura with another RBI. And the Pipers have put up 2 more on the board here in the bottom of the 6th inning on hit number 11. So Quinton getting touched up. Swing and miss on the off-speed pitch by Zach Langton, and the snowballs in 1 strike. Zach hit by a pitch in the 2nd, flied out in the 3rd. And on base and scored in the 5th inning. Now 1, did that hit him? Yes. Nope. And no, got away from Rydell, a wild pitch. Or pass ball, excuse me. Thought it may have hit Zach, but it went all the way back to the backstop. And the count on Langton is 1-1. Moving up on the plate at third base at Jeremy Zura. Still nobody out here in the 6th inning. Lake delivers, swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. It is 1-2. Two and 2 now, the count on Langton. Next offering, there's a swing and a miss. There's out number 1. As Quinton has his 2nd strike out of the ballgame, our 5th. Jacob Kraft had 3. And here's Hunter Messerschmidt. Played 3rd in the first game. Now playing shortstop They've held him in check. He's 0 for 3. He struck out swinging back in the 5th inning. First pitch, ground ball. Rogers behind the bag. Walker sets out across the diamond. In time when the run will score. An RBI ground out, but Messerschmidt will pick himself up an RBI. As coming in to score is Zura. And the Pipers have opened things up with a 3-run inning. Now it's 11-2. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth.
Zach Langton a little confused how many outs there were. He was coming out of the dugout and jogging out to right field as Hardwick stepped in. He got about 3/4 of the way out there before anybody told him that he needed to come back.
Kyle Hardwick getting his first at bat, taking over at the catching spot for Engen. Kyle has played both ends of the doubleheader, and the count on him is 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, there's something to be said for being eager to get out into the field.
Kyle Hartwig, sophomore catcher from Kenosha, Wisconsin, Bradford High School. Two old, low ball, 3-0. And looks like they're calling out Quentin Lake to fall on the sword. There's a strike. He's going to have to finish the game. 3 balls and 1 strike. And just as I say that, I see somebody getting up in the bullpen. 3-1, high ball 4. And Lake giving up his first walk of the ball game. And the batter back to the top of the order, Mr. Schoenfeld, who the Auggies have yet to retire. He did have a sacrifice back in the 4th inning, but he scored 3 runs. He's driven in a run. He's still on a couple of bases. First pitch, check swing, low. Dillon keeps it in front of him. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. One-0 delivery, driven right field, and Abe Turner go towards the line. Now has to play it on the bounce. He took it a roundabout way to get to that ball, and it dropped in front of him. And Schoenfeld goes opposite field, picks up another base hit. And taking third on the play was Kyle Hartwig.
Now Turner getting turned around by that ball. He, like you, I think thought it was pretty well hit, but it really died. And the wind maybe having something to do with that. By the time he recovered, he couldn't get anywhere near it.
And here's Jake Tomovic. Jake will pick up his first win of the year if this score holds up. It's now 11-2, and the pitch, breaking ball on the outside corner for strike on its own 1. 8th man to come up this inning for the Pipers. Jake on the afternoon, 3 RBIs, been on base down in there. Couple of base hits, up and in on the next job, bring 1 ball, 1 strike. And Domovic came in with a 5.28 ERA, starting just his 4th game. 1-1 from Lake, and it's fly to right center field. Going back for the Cook into the gap, and JD puts it away for the final out of the inning. But for the Pipers, as mentioned, they sent 8 men to the plate, scoring 3 runs. My score sheet is just a mess. I'm going to say 3 runs on 3 hits, and no errors this time, and 2 runners left on base. We go to the 7th inning, and the Auggie down by 9, 11-2. This is Auggie Game Day, game number 2 here at Auggie Game Central.
Now for updates and information on all Augsburg University sports, check out our athletic website at athletics.augsburg.edu. Updated constantly with all the information on all 21 Augsburg varsity sports. It's your online home for Auggie Athletics. If it's happening in Augsburg sports, it's online at athletics.augsburg.edu. And follow Augsburg Athletics on social media. Go to Augsburg Auggies on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for all your Auggie social media. And remember to use the hashtag Auggie Pride to share your love of Auggie Athletics.
And welcome back. We talked about the playoffs next week. And the Auggie lacrosse team will be playing at Hamline next week. Hamline is the #1 seed in the MWLC. And that'll be a 5 o'clock game on Friday. 2 o'clock on Friday. And the Auggies softball team will play on Thursday. Time and site yet to be determined. It'll be number 9, 1 and 2 against a new pitcher for the Hamline Pipers. And I know you have to go there, Charlie. Aaron or Evan? Evan Bayer. He is the batter. Charlie has to put on the tools of ignorance, otherwise known as goalie pads. And we'll take it the rest of the way. Thank you, Charlie Beatty. Outstanding job. Thank you, sir. Dylan Ford is 0 for 2. Grounded out in the second inning, struck out of the 4th inning. And for Evan Bayer, this is his 15th appearance, and 12 of those out of the bullpen. 0-2 his record at a 5.45 ERA. Dylan Foote, as mentioned, 0 for 2. 1-0 pitch from Bayer on the outside corner with a slider. And it's no balls, or correction, 1 ball, 1 strike. Next to offering, swing and a miss, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two from Evan. It's upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Evan, another Prescott Cardinal, wearing the wrong colors. He's wearing Hamline Piper colors. 2-2 pitch. A Dylan Foote fastball into right center field. Could find the gap, but the right fielder, Zach Langton, gets over in the gap and makes the catch. Foote is 0 for 3. Flies out to right field. 1 down for the Auggies. Here in the top of the 7th inning. And back to the top of the order. Here is Jordan DeCrook, followed by Clayton Bodine. Bayer's delivery, overhand fastball up and in, ball 1. J.D. struck out of the first, Singleton scored in the 3rd, flied out in the 4th inning. 1-0 pitch, ground ball up the middle. Messerschmidt, Hunter on the charge, pick up throw, got him. Nice play. Hunter Messerschmidt on a slowly hit ball. And he throws out to Cook on the very first pitch, 6-3 on the putout. 2 down here in the inning. And that'll leave it up to Clayton Bodine to keep this day alive. And Bodine singled back in the 3rd and tried to come around to score on the double by Mike Brookshaw. Got thrown out the plate. He is 1 for 3 in game number 2. Takes the first pitch wide for ball 1, ball no strikes. Mayer delivers. It sails high. 2-0. So the Auggies and University of Minnesota Moors, the next action Friday at Parade. 5 o'clock will be under the lights. 2-0 pitch. Fouled back. Maybe we'll get it in the sunshine. Sun doesn't usually set till about 8 o'clock. And then we head to Royal Stadium on Saturday for a doubleheader. At 1 doubleheader on Sunday against Gustavus. 2-1 pitch. He's taken for a strike. It is 2-2. Now that Sunday, we also might feature a couple more games. UW Superior will be in town to take on Crown. Then they're going to head over to, oh, that's been cut off. Okay. 2-2 pitch from Bayer. Line drive, left field base hit. Bodine with a single to keep the Augie Faint hopes alive here in the 7th inning. A 1-out single, or 2-out single. And that'll bring up Mike Brookshaw. Brookshaw 2 hits in the ball game. A home run, his first of the year, and a 12th RBI in the 1st inning. He doubled in 2 more runs, or 1 more run in the 3rd inning. That's right, Bodine was thrown out of the plate. So a 2 for 3 day and 2 RBIs, a 1-run score. And for Mike Brookshaw as he takes the first pitch low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Brookshaw started the day hitting .500, had 1 hit in the first game, 3 in the doubleheader. 1-0 pitch, line drive, backhand stop, throws a second short way, fielder's choice, force that's ball game. So the Hamline Pipers come into their home opener and their season closing doubleheader as they take 2 from the Auggies, winning the second game by a score of 11-2. The Pipers 11 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error. And for the Auggies, 2 runs on 8 hits and 4 errors. The winning pitcher is Jake Dumovic, picking up his first win of the year against 3 losses. And the losing pitcher for the Auggies is Jake Kraft. He gave up the first 5 runs of the ball game. 3 of those were earned. Augsburg dropped to 3-9 in conference at 11-15 overall for the Hamline Pipers with the sweep. Their record is now 6-8 in conference and 13-17 overall. The Pipers have road doubleheaders against Gustavus and St. Mary's next week. I'll mention the Auggie baseball schedule as well. Morris, Bethel, and Gustavus next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And also on the sports calendar, softball on Thursday, first round of the MIAC softball playoffs, and soccer on Friday afternoon at Hamline. And the Auggies will take on the Hamline Pipers, the number 1 seed in that tournament. Good luck to KK and the crew. With that, I want to thank the Hamline folks for their help in getting this game on the air, and a big hand to the Silver Fox, Tom Ritchie, along with Ethan Allen on camera. And thanks to Charlie Beatty. Great job as usual. And I'm Tom Merchant. Augsburg and Hamline here on Auggie Game Central. This broadcast, a presentation of Augsburg University, produced with the help of my company, TJ Broadcast Services, TJSportsOnline.net, brought to you by Minnesota Coaches Incorporated, Memory Lanes and Flashback Cafe, the Courtyard Minneapolis Hotel, the Coder Bar, Thrivent Financial for Lutherans, Twin City Orthopedics, Wells Fargo, Devani's Pizza, and 360 Wow Inc. and Jimmy John's. From CHS Field in Lowertown, beautiful Lowertown, St. Paul, we say good night, everybody. We'll talk again.